Hey, how's it going, guys? Ancient Rain here, back with another Borderlands 3 build video, and today I'll be going over my non-DLC Zane build called 3 Tree Fart. This build focuses all around the Pestilence reload, which deals gun, slash, elemental, and action skill damage, as well as the other normal bonuses like the V1 global, V2 conditional, debuff, and everything else. And using stuff that will basically always be active, you can constantly deal hundreds of millions of damage and even potentially 1 billion damage.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The save file will be found in my Discord, which is linked down below, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, and so first off, of course, we have the Pestilence. You're going to want to go 150 over 90 anointment. This is so we can get that V2 slash conditional damage. This will be a pure molt on this build, so this is huge. They'll mainly use this for mobbing, as with bossing it's kind of hard to keep that anointment up, where you'd switch to a terror damage and fire rate anoint. We do have it on here, but you just kind of do some switch up for bossing, which kind of helps survivability as well. So it's just a good combo. And then we also have some other items. We have the gargoyle from season pass 1 you can use. You don't need it, as this is mainly a Pestilence build, but you can throw this on. If you have season pass, you'd probably be able to get like a corrosive old god would be really nice on this, but you pair that with like a flesh melter victory rush and it would do really good. Mainly the flesh melter part. Victory rush doesn't matter as much, but it also counts as a bullet, so it gets pistol damage and some other stuff here, so that is a really good weapon. And then you also have the Zepsis eruption. If you do the emote canceling spam, if you know how to do that, then that can be viable. Otherwise it's just good debuff. And then you also have the multi-tap. You throw the tracker, and then it will, when you have an empty mag and you reload, you can like animation cancel, melee or drone pointing canceling, do that, and that will spam the cryo projectiles. And then you just need to keep tagging enemies when you kill the other ones. We have the face puncher here to give to clone to stack terror for us, because we have the melee terror on our shield. And then I like having just terror ammo regen or clone ammo regen, just because we can swap to it, especially if we go in the fight for your life and clone is down, then you can swap to this and shoot here. We also have the Zepsis eruption, as I went over, but another use for it is just debuff, especially for fight for your life. If you're not able to hit an enemy with your Pestilence, you can have the Zepsis reload going and then pointing with drone, and drone will go after an enemy and get that debuff boost, making the Zepsis eruption also really good there. An amazing fight for your life weapon. And then I have the red suit. This is to be immune to the Pestilence here. Very strong. Power charge part doesn't matter as much because we already have plenty of gun damage, but to min-max you would go the power charge parts. You can also go Sentinel Lifesteal. You would go this with melee terror on your grenade, as we have the melee terror on our shield right now. This would be for better survivability, mainly for bossing, so we can have that lifesteal. Since we have auto idle during bossing, we're not always killing mobs, so our healing is a bit worse, so having that lifesteal is very important. If you're good with moving around and dodging attacks, it doesn't matter as much, but it's still nice and safe. For the shield, we use an It's Piss. You just want to get as low level as possible. I made this level 1, which is technically possible with co-op shenanigans, but getting like a level 35-ish, mid 30s to 40s with Mayhem 8 is going to be the practical lowest you can get. This is so clone does not blow itself up, as clone and drone will be throwing these grenades, granting a gear debuff, which is additive with the Zepsis eruption, but since we don't always use it, it doesn't matter as much. Just good here to have for increased damage with terror fire rate or the melee attack, as I just went over when talking about the shields. And then for the class mod, you're going to want any class mod with violent momentum. This is very impactful, and it doesn't need to be just anti-freeze. It can be infiltrator. Even though it breaks its shield, we're not spamming our action skill a bunch, so we're not constantly breaking our shield. So it'll be broken, and then we'll just fill it back up and be good. This includes purple class mods with violent momentum, and the main thing you're going to want here is the action skill damage, as we don't get action skill damage anywhere else. Splash damage is still super important, but we can also get that on our artifact, so it's kind of less important, but still very, very, very impactful here. And then you have the splash radius, which is very good, but you kind of just spam and try and hit more enemies, as less radius means less area of effect, and so less enemies are hit. Technically, you could say that about the damage part, as you just spam more, but since we do have 150 over 90, we want to try and get as much damage as possible here to make sure we kill that enemy before it goes below 90% health. And with the violent momentum points, you kind of just want 3 to 5 with good passes because of how the damage formula works. We have hundreds of gun damage, so you can kind of just not worry about it as much, as the splash damage and action skill damage are going to be multiplicative damage sources with gun damage. So you can kind of not worry about it as much. And then I also just have a pistol damage here. You can also go assault rifle damage. That's for if you want to use the pistol like the multi-tap or the gargoyle, or the assault rifle for the Zepsis eruption for damage. Alright, and for the skill tree, first off, of course, we have violent momentum. This gives hundreds of gun damage, so we want this, especially with 10 out of 5 here. This is going to be insane and our big source of our damage. Then we have Cold War, so we can swap around items a bunch. The bonus damage does nothing here. The swap speed is just really nice. Then we have Violent Speed. This is to help boost violent momentum even more. Then we have Salvation here. We don't get anything out of this for Pestilence, but if we use the other guns that have a damage source gun instead of damage source action skill, Salvation will help here. Then we have Drone Delivery. Drone Delivery is to throw the It's Piss for us for some nice extra damage. Then we have See in Red. This is to activate our kill skills when starting up in combat. Then we have Violent Violence here. This is just to start up our guns to reload. So if we accidentally reload, we can just try this and get faster. We don't want any reload speed, as that means the reload animation is faster, which means we may accidentally fully reload, and we do not want that, because then we have to fire our gun a bunch to reload again, and that just takes a while. Playing Dirty does nothing here, so we don't take it. Then we have Good Misfortune to have our action skills getting back. Then we have Death Falls Close. This is to boost our kill skills and our kill skill duration. And Violent Momentum gets boosted by kill skill bonuses for some reason, which is really nice. Then we have Red Tree going down mainly for Supersonic Man and then Double Barrel. We have Borrowed Time for active skill duration. We don't go Prey Newness, as mag size means it takes longer to reload. Then we have Synchronicity here just for some gun damage. It's basically a bad skill, same with Donnybrook here, because we have Violent Momentum, but it's min-maxing damage at this point, and Donnybrook will help give us some health regen. Fractal Frag, so Clone can throw some grenades to be better utility. Duct Tape Mod to be immune to our splash damage. Then we have Quick Breather for helping Clone and our shield recharge, as well as Clone's health return. Then we have Old You. This is just good if we go and fight for your life, we can sacrifice Clone. Then we have Supersonic Man for some movement speed. This is to help Violent Momentum even more. We have Pocket Full Grenades. This is really just to help Boom Enhance. Then we have, of course, Boom Enhance. This increases Clone's damage as well as survivability. Then we have Like a Ghost, just some dump points, help ignore stuff from enemies. And then Double Barrel, so Clone can hold the Face Puncher. And then for Green Tree is basically dump points, but Rise to the Occasion is really nice for that health regen. Just because we're not having constant lifesteal, having that health regen is really nice. Then we have Ready for Action to help keep our shield full. Then we have Adrenaline just for some nice cooldown. Then for the skills, we have Sentinel. A big reason for Sentinel is because the targeting is actually faster than like meleeing or swapping to reload cancel. So having Sentinel here is very important, as well as getting some nice movement speed or the static field for recharging shields, but I go Boomstay instead to give a source of fight for your life damage. And then we have Digiclone here. You can go Shed and Feud, or which one's real. I go Shed and Feud just to help our survivability a bit more, but both help survivability because one's aggro draw. Then we have Doppelbanger, so we can blow up Clone and reposition it somewhere else. You can go Speed Demon if you want for even more damage, but you don't need it. It's just kind of there. So Mayhem 11 just does just fine here. I hope you guys enjoyed the build video. The Pestilence is insane. It acts pretty similar to the full DLC version Farprative, just a bit more gun variety. If you want to do content with ease, then this is absolutely the build for you. Again, you can find the save file in my Discord, which is linked down below, as well as my other socials. If you haven't, I'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.